Hello everyone, Volkov Dev here. Today I'll show you how to set up MongoDB on your Windows computer. Then we will import data into it using Python. And finally, we will visually manage the database using MongoDB's Compass. Let's get started. Alright, first things first, we want to get MongoDB Community Edition. So head over to the link in the description. And basically you're going to scroll down and select the MongoDB Community Server download. And you're just going to hit the green download button down here. Now it should be downloading for you here. I already have it downloaded, so I'll show you the installation. So we're going to go to the download history and we're going to launch the MSI. So the setup is quite easy. Just going to hit next here, accept the terms. And we want to go for the complete edition, the complete installation. For the service, just keep it as a network service. And for the installation directory, that's up to you. I just like to keep everything where it's supposed to be by the application by default, so I don't have any issues later. And then you want to install MongoDB Compass. Make sure you have that enabled. This is your graphical user interface for MongoDB. And finally, just hit start. And now that the installation is complete, we're going to click finish. And as you can see, the Compass automatically launched on its own. So the first things first, we want to actually create a connection here. This is an old connection that I've had. So to create a connection, we'll just hit the plus icon here. And you can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to call it test. You can set up any color you like. This is the local host IP that you want to connect to through your Python script, which I will show you in a second here. You can favorite if you want, so it's always connected to this, and then we can save and connect. Now, once that is done, you can see here that there are a bunch of different databases, and these databases are all empty. However, I'll show you how to set it up where you can create a database from Python. So now that we have MongoDB Community Server installed on our computer, and we have the MongoDB Compass, which shows us a graphical user interface to see all the different databases we have with our connection. Now we're going to go to our Python script. This Python script is quite simple. All it does is it basically connects to MongoDB. Obviously, you need PyMongo. So to install that, you want to go to your CMD, type pip install, and just basically put the name of the library, PyMongo, and you just hit enter, and it will basically tell me that it's already satisfied because I already have it installed. So to connect to our MongoDB database that is on the computer installed, we're going to go ahead here with client. We're establishing client as our variable here. Mongo client is basically the localhost 27017. This should match with our actual connections settings here. So we're going to go to the connection information and we're going to make sure that it's the same. So this one is on localhost 27017, which matches the same one here that's hosted, which we're connecting to, obviously, from here from the Python script. So for the DB connection, we're going to go again with a handle client here, which is Mongo client, and we're going to do my database. So my database, if it existed in MongoDB on our local machine, then this will basically enter that database. It will access it. If it doesn't, then it will create it. The collection is, again, like it's a type of hierarchy in the MongoDB. So the collection that we're going to access here is my collection, which it doesn't exist right now, but we will create it in MongoDB as well. Now, when it comes to inserting the data into our MongoDB database, we're going to just create this data JSON format kind of data here. We're going to format it as name, age, and profession. So I give it attribute name, and I give it the value of Joe, age is 27, and the profession is a developer. And then all you got to do to push the data is you're going to reference your collection dot insert data. So you're referencing the data that's above there. And then once that is done, we should be printing a data successfully inserted just for debug purposes. And then retrieving the data from MongoDB is as simple as this. We just have a variable handling this here, collection.find1. So that's the actual keyword that we're using here with MongoDB. We're finding one document. So when we say document, MongoDB is a document-based database. So all of these data files that we're sending, they're considered documents. So we send a document and we receive back a document if we want to. So we're finding one document with the attribute name is Joe, and then we're going to be printing that retrieved data. So let's go ahead and run this. And as you can see, data successfully inserted. So we've inserted Joe with the name Joe, age 27, profession developer. And then we retrieved this data here, which is, it's referencing the ID of the data entry, the document itself, the name, which is Joe, and the age 27, and the profession is developer. Now, just to show you how this looks like on the MongoDB graphical user interface, you just want to go over to the Compass, and you'd want to refresh here. So there's a refresh button somewhere, right there, fresh databases. And as you can see here, we now have the My Database collection under the My Database itself here, the actual database. My collection is just basically a folder, again, hierarchical structure in MongoDB. And as you can see here, we have this new entry, this document, which has its own ID, automatically generated by MongoDB, the name Joe, age 27, and the profession developer. Now let's add someone else. Let's modify this script here. I don't know, something like Chris. 30, 25, 35, and let's just do like student. Profession is student. Control S, and let's run this. Obviously, if we run this right now, watch what's going to happen. We've inserted Chris, but we've retrieved Joe. Why is that happening? Because we referenced the document by name, Joe, but we don't want to get Joe right now. We want to see Chris. So I'm just going to modify that. Control S, run it again. And there we are. We just got Chris's information back. This is Chris's document. That's the ID, the name, the age, and the profession. Now we can go back here, and we can simply click at the top and do refresh databases. And there you go. We've inserted Chris twice, actually, because the first time we ran the Python script, we retrieved Joe, but we still inserted Chris's data. And the second time we ran the script, we wanted to retrieve Chris, but we also imported Chris into the database again as a new document. So just something extra here. If you want to delete this, it's very easy. You just gotta click delete, delete again, and you're good to go. Now you have Joe, you have Chris, and you can see both of them in this graphical user interface application. It's very simple. I love MongoDB. I've used it before for different projects. And that's about it. Now you know how to use MongoDB using Python. You have your own graphical user interface in front of you. You can visualize your data. That's about it, folks. I really appreciate you for sticking around and watching this video. If this video was helpful to you, please leave a like, please leave a comment. It will support the channel. And if you're into this kind of content, and if, I don't know, if you're a new student, a software developer, or someone who's just trying to get into the software development industry, please follow the channel, subscribe. It will support me, and I'll make sure to give you guys the content that you need. Thanks a lot, folks, and have a great day.